Geoff and Gavin, did you see the news?
What's the news, son?
On Friday, this Friday, the GURPLER is releasing.
Where?
On regulationstore.com.
When?
November 22nd, 10 a.m. Pacific, noon Central. You see this flyer? I don't know why you're asking me questions. I'm holding this flyer.
Shit, look at that flyer, Andrew.
It's a GURPLER flyer because it's coming out this Friday. And also, look, there's something on the back of it. We're doing a stream, apparently.
Oh, wow.
Where did you get this flyer?
I don't know. I was just looking in my room and I found this flyer. Look at this. We're apparently playing Mario Party at the Regulation Pod on Twitch at 10 a.m. at the same time, 10 a.m. Pacific, noon Central. And we're celebrating the GURPLER launch.
Hey,
Wow.
Eric.
Yeah, Gavin.
Is this an announcement put on the front of an episode where once again we talked about this in the episode, in the same episode where I was complaining that in the last episode we talked about it in the episode?
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
Oh, that's
shit.
crazy. That's also on this flyer. Holy shit.
you know what else is on the flyer? If you look at the
Wow.
bottom, at the free guitar lessons, if you pull the phone number tab out, Eric's giving free guitar lessons.
Oh!
What?
What's the phone number?
250.
Regulation store.
Whoa, we don't need to give a phone number.
Okay.
751.
The phone number is regulationstore.store.
Oh, wow. That's great. So this Friday at noon, twitch.tv/theregulationpod to watch us stream Mario Party, the return of Dill Kong, and the launch of the GURPLER at regulationstore.com. Now listen to the episode where we talk about it in the episode and Gavin complains about it. But honestly, we had to do this also because for all the 10 of you who were like, I already knew this, there's a million who didn't. Thanks for listening.
Oh, get away from me, guys. Oh, I'm going back in time. The time machine. I don't know where I'm going.
Come back!
Eric, when can I schedule my lesson?
Call me.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Regulation Podcast. This is episode 28. My name is Geoff Ramsey. With me, as always, Andrew Panton, Gavin Free, Eric Bedour, and Nick Schwartz. Hello.
28.
Hello.
Very special number.
Does anybody remember their 28th birthday?
No.
Ooh. Playing Minecraft.
Yeah, no, I don't. Nothing stands out.
I actually listened to last week's episode a little bit.
Mhm.
I don't ever do that anymore. That's why I made that joke, because
So that would have been 2016 for me. I could probably see if I took a picture that day.
dude, I bet you do.
Oh.
It was 2016 for Gavin. I'm trying to think, when did I turn 28? How old are you, Gavin?
36.
Uh-huh. Okay, cool. So I'm 2 years older. Okay, cool. Got it.
It's going to be a
2014. No idea what I was doing.
long day.
Yeah. What do you mean?
You said it was 2016 when Gavin turned that age, and I just instantly went, okay, I was 28 in 2016. Let's see. I immediately just went with like, okay, I guess we all were 28. I just was like, okay, 2016, 28 year. Okay, got it.
I think it was
came out
2003 for me, maybe, when I turned 28.
Also known as 2016. I see.
Yeah, the other 2016.
So wait, who's wrong? Am I wrong?
What?
No, you're fine. It's that you said that and then it just got us numbers confused. You're good, dude.
Yeah, you're great.
Yeah. This is a rabbit on his heels, man. He doesn't know where to attack.
Talk about a rabbit on his heels and attacking. Gavin has become a bookcase guy.
We can't spend the whole of this episode talking about Gears of War again.
No, I just quick mention.
Okay.
If there is a prompt on your screen, Eric, do you feel compelled to press it?
What? Yes.
Just because
what?
if there's
on
a
a
prompt,
computer?
He said yes.
Like
say,
on a computer?
Eric?
No, like let's say you're playing a game
Okay.
and you walk into a room
Uh-huh.
and there's nothing in the room, but you get a prompt. Do you have to hit it?
You don't have to hit it. You should like it says like all of a sudden it's like X button.
There's just like an X on your screen. Not like yelling, "Hey, push me," but just like, "Hey, you can hit it if you want." Type.
Let's change this. Let's add to the stakes of this a little bit. Let's say you're 3 hours into a fight, and you finally beat the fight. Like, you've been hitting your head pretty hard against this boss battle or sequence of battles for like 2.5 to 3 hours. And then you finally do it after so long.
But let me add more. Let me add more to it. You've been hiding behind cover the whole game. There's little covers. There's upright cover. There's crouch down cover, right? Suddenly, towards the end of the game, in an end game scenario, there's a little icon on one of the covers.
Okay,
It
but
says
before you continue,
Yep. Yeah.
I just feel it's also important to note that all of the reasons you need cover have now been dealt with. All the cover no longer required because you've dealt with all the things that require the cover.
All that needs to happen now is that we walk forward a few feet to collect a checkpoint so that we can bank that last 3 hours
Important
of
context.
misery.
Sorry, continue.
But,
go ahead.
new button just says X. It's like, ooh, X opens doors, X opens safes sometimes.
Now,
X drops a bookshelf on Andrew and kills him instantly. That's what X does.
We finished everything. We're all good. And then Gavin walks into the room I've been in the whole time that I just have ignored the prompt for and decides I got to hit this prompt. And then he drops a bookcase on me, killing me. And we have to do it all over again.
That's, to be fair, crazy timing, though.
What do you mean? You walked into my area
What are the
because it was
chances?
clear. And then you dropped the bookcase on me. And then we spent 45 more minutes fighting things we'd killed.
In fairness, I didn't see you. I just saw the prompt. And when I tipped the bookcase over, all I heard was a splash and a ton of blood. I didn't even see that you were there.
It was maybe the most defeat. Oh, that's not true. There are other times where we're more defeated, but it was a bad one.
I was up there. It was up there.
It was unfortunate.
And if that sounds like a nightmare to you, audience, well, then buckle up, because that was only top 5. There's at least 4 others just as bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not my strongest series.
Every time, so we haven't done much as a full group this week. Looking at the calendar, we had a sync on Monday, and then since then...
Well, you and I had a meeting Tuesday, Eric.
Yes, and then since then, as a full group, we have not done anything. However, every time I open Discord, you guys are recording Gears. What the hell?
We've been recording Gears for like 6 hours a day, every day for the past 2 weeks.
It's outrageous.
Every day we finish and I lay down and I'm just wiped. And I'll typically have like a 45-minute nap and then be confused as to how we're still in this day. It has been
And then he'll text
toll.
Gavin and I and go, I'm exhausted. And Gavin and I go, let's start again right now. I cannot get enough of that misery. I don't know why.
Oh, it's brutal. But it's so much fun. We're close to the end. I can taste it.
Well, we're past the end. Now we're close to the beginning.
Yeah, we're close to the beginning.
You guys talked about this earlier where Jeff's like, yeah, we're done. Like, we beat it or whatever. And then I
didn't say we were done. All I said was we beat it.
I still don't understand what. So you beat it, but you're not done?
Well, here, this could be up to you, Eric. How do you find beat? Is beat finishing the last level, or is it finishing all parts of it?
Well, but what are you trying to accomplish? I don't know. Do you have to go backwards? What?
Yes, because we thought the highest difficulty was one thing. We completed Act 1, Chapter 1 on Insane, which we thought was the hardest difficulty the game had. And then in the second episode we recorded, realized, oh, there is actually an even harder difficulty we could do. Let's do that. So none of us have the achievement for beating the game on the hardest difficulty because we still haven't done Act 1, Chapter 1.
Okay.
So we just got to go back and redo Act 1, Chapter 1. But we beat the game yesterday.
Okay.
We did beat the game.
That's some Andrew brain stuff, by the way. That's the way the heists keep going. Where they start and Gavin goes, did you put it on hard? And Andrew goes,
I forget. Yeah.
No.
But that'll
So
be,
I see it.
Geoff isn't out next week, but the week after he's out, we need to sync up and do the same for the heists.
But isn't Nick out also?
When are you out, Nick?
Nick is only out like 2 days.
You guys should hard heist the week I'm out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we'll only have 3 days of heisting, I think. There'll be,
That's fine.
but I think we
Plenty
can.
of time.
You put
But
a
also,
solid
we
6
can
hours a
heist.
day in. That's a lot of
Yeah.
heisting.
Yeah.
We can also
we can do
heist. There's so much heisting we can do next week also. And
That's true.
And when this is out, we can't even do anything on Friday, the 22nd at noon, because we're doing a Mario Party Jamboree
yeah, we
20-turn GURPLER Twitch stream for the release of the GURPLER at regulationstore.com or regulationstore.store.
Hell
So you
yeah,
squeeze
we
that-
are.
you squeeze
We
that
got the
into
GURPLER
episode
coming out.
and
We
it's
got
good.
the Mario Party stream. Is that the most turns, Gavin, in that one? 20 turns?
I think 35 is the most turns, isn't it?
Oh my lord.
Oh, Jesus.
I just assumed we were doing the most turns. I have no idea.
You guys told me that you're doing 20 turns when I made the event forever ago. So
Okay.
we can change
Then
it,
20
but
turns-
that's what you said.
Do you think there's a battery in Canada strong enough to allow you to play
I
35
bought a
turns?
new dock. I got the official cable. I will test it to make sure we're all good, but I don't think it should be an issue.
I, by the way, found a picture of that I took on my 28th birthday, and it's a picture of Jeremy's desk in Achievement Hunter without the legs on,
What
and,
the
and his chair without the swivel base.
Was that the one where we lowered or raised it? That was the lowered.
That
I
was
guess?
the lowered.
Yeah.
And then you saw that and thought, let's raise it.
God, that was back. Man, budget was a dangerous thing at times.
Well, the budget for lowering the desk was $0. So
Yeah,
we made up for it on that one.
And the budget for raising the desk was like 8 IKEA bookshelves, I think, the little end tables. We had the scissor lift at the office already.
Okay. What was the budget for testing hot dogs and speed? Was that 3 desks? We had the desks, right?
Testing hot dogs?
Where you put the hot dog on a desk and you raised it and the hot dog would move faster. Whatever the thing was.
There were no hot.
Hot dogs?
Wasn't there a dog on the desk?
Hey, Andrew, just checking. Are you okay? Or
I said I wasn't already. Was there not a dog on? Wasn't that the item that if on the desk? would
No.
Wasn't it just a
Maybe
wiener?
it came from dogs? I mean, it was just us on the desk, though, wasn't it?
It became you guys, but I thought it was a dog thing at first. You had a hot dog on the desk. I don't know.
Maybe you're right.
I don't know.
I just remember arguing with Gracie and Emily for a whole break
Yeah.
show.
I remember you being right, and I thought it was a hot dog was the item that would accelerate the speed.
Now I'm looking at the thumbnail, and it is not a hot dog on a desk. However, it is Gavin on a desk, which I think is not a hot dog, but it is Gavin. So
Gavin, can you confirm not a hot dog?
Not a hot dog from
Okay.
my perspective.
Okay.
You know, it's funny that you guys are looking back at older content from that was face, right? Probably.
Yep.
Yeah, that had to be. Okay.
yeah.
Because I was thinking, to put this in the context of where we are in the universe right now, we just recorded about an hour ago a piece of holiday supplemental that we have coming out in December, I would guess, right? And so we took a little break so I could take the dog out to go potty. And while I was taking the dog out, I was trying to prepare for this podcast, and it hit me. This is episode 28. I wonder, it's a shame I don't have time to go back. I'd love to listen to Face episode 28 and see what we're talking about, and then see if I could find something out of there to sneak into this conversation. But that just got me thinking, we're at a point now where we've got 28 episodes of Regulation that can directly compare to 28 episodes of our other show.
All right.
Interesting.
You ready?
Yeah, what's the descriptor?
I'm all back / the bat fiasco. Geoff, Gavin, and Andrew talk about Andrew being the most least prepared, payoff to the ketchup bet, Geoff's bats, and more. So this would have been at the time
Oh, this paranoid era.
where I think Geoff was cutting bats. Andrew was proclaiming that he was mostly back.
Yeah.
Ah.
So it's
Yeah.
a probably pretty lore heavy episode.
See, yeah, it was.
Interesting.
Is you had all the mini bats.
Mm-hmm.
Did he saw off the mini bats? Is that what he did with them?
No, he sawed off regular bats.
I sawed off the regular sized bats. The mini bats were first. The mini bats, what I did was I got a wood burner and I burned
That's what
numbers
you
into
did.
the bottom of each one. And then you convinced me somehow that they were coated in some sort of a lacquer that would kill me or smell bad. And it was unfortunately deep in the paranoid era. It was a very paranoid time in general. And so I was on edge. I was definitely on edge.
Yeah, you're going to light all the bats on fire.
Yeah. Dude, I forgot. I forgot about the paranoid era. The paranoid era was crazy.
I've got some now. I'm waiting on a 27-pound package from Andrew for some reason. And I'm kind of nervous as to what's in it.
I heard it was your fault.
27 pounds of holiday cheer, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of content, this is content we just didn't do, not even from the past. I finally watched the Borderlands movie. We talked about doing content around it where we did like a draft of like, based on our experience with the game, what we would anticipate being in a Borderlands movie. Like, what are the touchstones of that franchise that you would need to hit when adapting it? And I'm glad we did that only because none of us would have made any progress in the bingo of it. There's
They
nothing.
just didn't do any.
There's not a single fucking thing from that game in that movie. It is insane. Every single game, like the thing I thought going into it is they're definitely going to do this. All of those games open with a music sequence with action happening in like slow motion. None of that. Just skipped it entirely. Not a single glowing gun. They don't even open a gear chest in the entire thing.
Are you serious?
Insane. I haven't, you know what? Actually, I have 30 minutes left, so maybe they do in the final 30 minutes.
They
But
were saving it for that. God,
there is 0 moments of a character opening a thing and things shooting out of it is insane. I don't know who that movie was for. Very weird. I'm glad we didn't do it. I kind of want to do it for Minecraft because we've all played Minecraft, I believe. And that movie, I don't know. Once again, Jack Black. So I guess how could it go wrong?
Speaking of Minecraft, I'm still holding on to Ratcraft as an idea.
Oh
So
yeah, we got to do
that. So, what do you rate it?
2 claptraps out of 10.
Ooh, a 2 out of 10 claptraps.
That's another weird thing they did where like they had Jack Black as the voice of Claptrap and they really want you to know it's Jack Black. So it doesn't really sound like Claptrap. It just sounds like Jack Black.
Wow.
It just sucks. That movie sucks.
Does he say skadoosh a lot?
Probably. It would fit with the Claptrap character they're presenting. None of them have abilities. They're no, it fucking sucks. That movie sucks. How do you not have anything from the game in the movie? Insane.
This is the first episode that's come out since the audience has seen the kicker, picker, repicker. Kicker, repicker. And I love the perspective of fresh eyes because I didn't realize at the time, or even when I was watching it back, until the audience pointed out the fact that at no point on either of the second or third wheels did we have pick.
Oh, yeah.
That's insane. That is so funny.
We had steel, but there wasn't anything on the wheel.
That was kind of by design, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I thought the point of the other wheels was to get you down and out, and then eventually you'd have to get back on the first. The second and third wheel felt like punishment wheels to me.
Yeah, at best it was an erosion of progress, and at worst it was a stark punishment.
I'm just blown away we didn't have force pick from the list on there.
It should have been
nuts.
Oh, I see. That probably would have been really smart. Yeah, that probably would have been really good.
It would have been really good.
Well,
I feel like what got put on the wheel rolled away from me quickly. Like I opened up the back of the car that had the wheels and it rolled down a hill instantly and I never was able to catch up to it.
It's your fault though, right? Like I still don't understand.
You
how the wheels were introduced.
You drove the car to the location.
Yeah.
Isn't there a movie where like a rogue tire starts killing people?
I think it's just called Wheel.
I think it's
Or Tire.
Wheel
Something
tire.
like that.
The wheel tire.
I think
Either
wheel
way,
tire?
yes. It is called
Rubber. It's called Rubber. Yeah.
Rubber.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, Andrew did that.
I brought the wheel into the. It's like I put the grenade in the room, but I'm not the one who pulled the pin.
Do you think, or rather not do, when do you think we'll see the wheel again?
I don't know.
I feel like you can't predict the wheel. It kind of shows up on its own time, right?
Yeah.
If
I'd
and when
agree
it
with
feels appropriate. Yeah.
I want it to feel natural. You could put a wheel into anything, and that's fun. But it's gotta be earned, I think.
I feel like it has to be a spontaneous wheel. You know, I don't think you plan for a wheel.
You can plan for a wheel.
Yeah, how'd that go for you? How'd that go for you?
Once again, I would say that was barely planned. The wheel really came into play because it's like, what are going to be the dynamics of this thing?
Would a wheel in space ever stop spinning?
Oh, no, right?
Like if you had a car in space, you floor it, you're at like 100 miles an hour on your wheel, and then you just pop the wheel off.
I don't think it stops.
I think it goes forever.
That's something we could visit in the future, maybe.
A spinnable
Not a
wheel?
bad idea.
I don't. What? How? What do you mean?
A wheel that
What?
never stops.
We go to space?
Yeah. I'm not talking
What?
like episode 30. I'm talking about, episode 700 or something.
Well, we could simulate space, right? Isn't there like planes that do that Tom Cruise was in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they don't suck the air out, which I think is why a wheel wouldn't stop, because there's no air
Okay.
resistance.
I see.
We'll just have to wait till we can go to space to try
Yeah.
it. But I just put a pin in it for sure.
We have to have a fan who's an astronaut, right? This podcast only attracts the smartest people. And so take a wheel to space and spin
Hey,
it.
we've had people that work at NASA.
Yeah, that's
How
what I'm
hard could it be
saying.
for them to throw a wheel in there?
We're gonna read an email next week that's gonna be like, "Hey, Aneg, just wanted to say on the International Space Station right now, love the episode. Gavin is correct.
So would it ever land on go to third wheel?
What if someday we move past a wheel? What if there's a
Oh.
triangle or a square or an octagon?
Well, a wheel isn't a circle. Like you could have a square wheel.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
yeah.
You want to get away from circles.
Maybe someday we get away from a circle. Yeah. There's a lot of shapes out there.
I just can't stop thinking about the scene in Gravity when the debris circles back around. That happening, but it's just Wheel of Fortune wheels. It's just spinning wheels, just ripping
Someone
through
could
shit.
edit that in probably, just wrecking all the parachute up in the space station.
You see Bankrupt fly by the screen as it chops George Clooney in half.
Vanna White goes by.
Hey, I have a question. It's non-space or wheel related, but
Okay.
I guess it doesn't have to be, but I think it is in its current instance. Did we ever order those new puzzles?
Yeah, I believe so.
I haven't gotten mine.
I'll double check. I don't remember if I did or not, honestly.
Okay.
Because it was in the middle of trying to get all the CPA stuff done.
Yeah,
No
totally.
big deal if we didn't, but it popped into my head yesterday, and I thought I should check on that. We definitely should do that still.
Who is we?
It's me.
Oh.
Because
Okay.
that's an assigned thing to me. I thought about it earlier today because I got an email from Pomegranate about some puzzles that were coming out or whatever. And I put it on my list of like, fuck, I gotta remember
Cool.
to get to this. So and don't worry. We'll definitely do times and it'll be really real this time, guys. It'll
Yes.
be really good.
I've been looking at on
That's
the
exciting.
Xbox store if there are puzzle making games, and there aren't. But there is a Windows puzzle thing. If we want to
Puzzle
do virtual.
making games?
Yeah, like if there's just like a jigsaw game with a controller type thing. There isn't
Oh.
really on the store, but there is a Windows one on PC.
So when you open a box and there's all the pieces, you're making a puzzle?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean?
I just couldn't tell whether you were going to make a puzzle or like put together a puzzle.
One and the same, is it not?
He's like, are you creating a puzzle or assembling a puzzle?
Yeah, yeah.
I would never think of it that way, but fair enough. I see what you're saying.
You would never think of it that way?
I just in my head it's make a puzzle. It's like when you go to sleep and you say I'm getting in bed. You're not getting
Or
in
like-
bed.
Like sometimes you
Getting
say, I'm going to go to sleep, but then sometimes you say, I'm going to make sleep.
I wish I could make sleep right now.
Attend some sleep.
Make sleep.
I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
make
some
sleep
items,
would be the most badass fight promo of all time. A boxer and like the pre-fight press conference is like I'm going to make sleep on Saturday
I'm going to
night.
create sleep with this fist.
That would
Sleep-bringer.
so good.
Do you think Mike Tyson makes Jake Paul make sleep?
No,
Excited.
but I wish he would.
I hope so.
I don't think so. I don't think any of that shit's ever going to be real. Jake Paul tricks us every time into thinking that somebody's going to kick his ass, and then it's never going to happen. This would be the one. This would be the one, and I'll be watching it. Fingers crossed, but we'll see.
Yeah, I want to see it. It's not going to happen. I want to see it so bad.
Oh, but what if he puts him in the shadow realm? What if he just does it?
That'd be awesome.
What
What
if,
if?
Mike
Sends him to
what
the-
if Mike Tyson banishes Jake Paul?
Dude, I was watching some TikToks of Roy Jones Jr. Doing an interview with somebody talking about his
Yes.
exhibition fight with Tyson, and it was so fucking cool to hear Roy Jones Jr., one of the greatest boxers of all time, who's like 44-4, I think, talk about how fucking scared he was of Mike Tyson and how he kept clinging on to him just because he was not going to let Mike uppercut him, and just like about how he changed the way he boxed to make sure in the friendly exhibition that he didn't hit Mike the wrong way and give him the wrong idea. Like, it was really funny. That guy instills so much fear into the other best people who have ever done it. It's wild.
So I think like the worst case scenario, the worst case is that Mike Tyson just gets knocked out and it's really sad. But this being a fight, sort of like Anderson Silva and Chael Sonnen had a boxing match like 6 months ago.
I didn't watch it. Was it good?
No, it was really bad. It was one of those things where it's like, hey, this is like a fun, like it wasn't a real competition. It was an exhibition and they treated it as such. Neither of them really went their hardest in any way. And that's sort of like the fear of this event of like, it doesn't really matter. It was so refreshing to hear Roy Jones Jr. being like, that was supposed to be the tone of our exhibition of like, let's just kind of box, like not go full on with each other. And Mike Tyson is not capable of that.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson has one speed and it is trying to kill you. And it does not matter what the set dressing is around it.
He's
He was
asleep or
like-
he's making sleep.
He immediately punched me in the chest and I went, oh God, it's going to be a long night.
And it wasn't. That was
No.
a short fight.
It was a short fight. And Roy Jones Jr. is my favorite boxer of all time. And he was so clearly outclassed by Mike Tyson in that moment. Man.
I'm excited mainly for that event because of what it represents for the future of Netflix. More
It is
live
interesting.
sports on
Yeah.
Netflix, all about it. Very excited.
I'm right there with you.
That's their big push for next year. They just signed that WWE contract.
Yeah,
Where-
I feel like I'm going to watch I'm going to do the thing where I say I'm going to get into it and I just will never watch it, but I'm currently thinking I'm going to watch it because
Yeah, I think just having the option and it's right there, I think is the big thing.
I tell you what, Andrew, if you want, I'll watch it with you. We'll have a watch party, you and me. Because I was
do you want to
thinking
do
the
the
same
first
thing.
episode of Raw?
Yeah,
It's
why
Raw.
not,
I think
right?
it's
Let's
just
see.
Raw, right?
Everybody keeps telling us to get into it and that we'll love it if we love sports. And so why not? Why not give it a shot? I liked it when I was a kid.
I don't think you're going to love it.
I don't think I will either, but I'm willing to give it a shot.
No.
You can't be scared to try stuff.
No, totally.
No, yeah, you're right.
Speaking of like sports, I feel like understand the people that don't like that hate sports can be an unwelcoming culture. But when you get to the like how ridiculous the people are that are in it and the stories around it is really like it adds a level of appreciation to me. That's where my love of sports is.
Mm.
Did you guys see Jerry Jones talking about the sun over the weekend? Nick, did you see his? You didn't see his. Nick's a Cowboys fan.
Your stadium fucking sucks, Nick.
The team does too.
It's because they can't fucking see.
Oh yeah.
What happened with it?
Okay, so this is Cowboy Stadium has a design flaw, Gavin, where it has these giant windows that like magnify the sun onto the field, and depending on, I guess they flip sides. So both teams at a certain point in the game have a problem of they turn to look to catch the ball, and they're just blinded by sun. They can't see it. And Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, loves this and thinks it's great. And he refuses to cover the windows, despite his star wide receiver saying we should cover the windows. And they cover the windows for other events. Like they already have the things to cover the windows if they wanted to.
He just thinks a death ray makes the game more exciting.
He thinks it's an advantage for the team.
Dude, they're
some
dropping fucking wide open 5-yard passes in the end zone because they're blind.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
It sucks.
It's gotten to a point where Travis Kelce on his podcast with his brother started talking about it. And he said, it appears that Jerry Jones is still at war with the sun.
Oh yeah, it's so good. So it happened again, and their star receiver said, yeah, over the weekend, we should cover these. So at the press conference, Jerry Jones, who's the owner of the team, he's a billionaire, When I heard this quote, I did not believe it was real. And then I looked into it and confirmed he said all these things. Someone brought up the Sun, and he's just in a really cranky mood because the team is bad. He's trying to fire radio hosts for asking questions. It's great. Here's him discussing the Sun. When asked if it would be better if they covered the windows. Well, let's tear the damn stadium down and build another one. Are you kidding me? Everyone has got the same thing. Every team that comes in here has the same issues. I'm saying the world knows where the sun is. You get to know that almost a year in advance. Someone asked me about the sun. What about the sun? Where's the moon?
What?
Where's the moon? I've been laughing so hard at where's the moon for days, all week. Where's the moon?
What?
When he was asked about the sun, he said it's the largest air-conditioned space in the world. What does that have to do with the sun?
So everyone's cool but blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very comfortable inside.
It's comfortable and you can't see shit.
Yeah, but where's the moon? Where's that going to be?
Where's the moon? They know where the sun's going to be a year in advance.
They do. We know where the sun's going to be when we decide to flip the coin or not. We do know where this damn sun is going to be in our own stadium. He just doesn't want to admit it's a bad design.
Billionaires are so weird. It's like,
Yeah.
you as people get more money, they get less relatable when it comes to like buying things and stuff. And then as they hit their 10th figure of net worth, they just start to sound like aliens. Like they don't even
It's
make
insane.
sense to regular humans.
It's because they get too rich to be wrong.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It's so fun. It was a great... It was a whole thing at the NFL. There was also a coach that their coach got fired and they brought in a replacement. And he was talking about it was the Saints coach and they got an upset win. And it's his first press conference as a coach. He's like, I got to tell you guys something. Started today, went into the coach's area, coach's bathroom, never been in there before, clogged the toilet. That was the start. He just went deep
It's
on how
weird.
he clogged
Yeah.
the toilet. And it's like, it's not going to be a good day. Clog that shit immediately. And then his whole left side of his body went numb because one of his players hit him in the back to celebrate the win. And it locked everything. It's great.
Well, what is going on?
It's
awesome.
sports, man. Sports is
This is
fucking
sports.
awesome.
I'm sad we never had that kind of thing happen in Griffball.
Somebody saying, where's the moon? Or someone clogging the toilet before.
There's a lot of toilets getting clogged in Griffball. Don't worry about that. Hey, I have a story to tell you guys before we wrap up the episode
Please.
today. You guys remember I went out of town over the weekend?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I
Galveston.
went down to Galveston to a little boutique hotel. One of my wife's friends was having like a little, like, she has like a boutique clothing brand. And so she had like a pop-up over there, and my wife wanted to go down and support her. And it was, I guess, a good excuse to have a weekend away. And I hadn't been to Galveston since I was in like middle school. And so we drove down there in Emily's car, totally fine. Had a fine weekend. It rained all weekend. And I found out that Emily's idea of a party continues to be educational. We went to the first place we could get a tour of, and went to a tour of an old house. Not a lot going on in Galveston, so they're like, look at this old house. And you're like, oh, cool, what's the significance of it? And they're like, well, it's very old. And over here, you can see there's a room. And the people did stuff here. And then and you're like, well, why was it built? And they're like, because the people that owned it were rich. And you're like, okay. Were they pillars of the community? And they're like, nah, they were in the community, but they were mostly just rich, and the house is still here. Anyway, that'll be $15. It was like one of those kind of things.
What?
It was very fun though. And so we get up Sunday morning to leave, having had about a day and a half in Galveston, which, as it turns out, is the exact right amount of time to spend in Galveston.
Yeah.
And see, Nick knows.
Oh, yeah.
And so we get up to leave, and the tire pressure sensor comes on our car, and it says that I need to air up her tires. No big deal.
no.
So I drive to a gas station, and I put a little bit of air into her tires to get ready for the drive. It's about a 3.5 hour drive home, I would say, from Galveston. And it's just on like the other side of Houston. And as soon as I put the air in the tires, get back in the car, turn it on, the check engine light comes on. And I go, well, that's weird. Look, the check engine light just came on. Like the tire sensor gauge went off and the check engine light went on. And Emily's like, that's weird. And I was like, it wasn't like that all weekend. No, haven't seen it. Hasn't been like that lately. No. And I thought, okay, strange. Turn the car off, turn it back on. check engine lights on again. Doesn't give any indication of what it is. And this is it's annoying because the car tells you what wheel has low pressure and what the pressure is. The car's like, your front left tire has 25 PSI in it, fix it. But it can't tell you anything better than unspecified problem in car, you know?
It told you which engine.
It did tell me which engine. It did tell me which engine, the only engine. And so I thought, oh, that's strange. Let's just see how it drives. And so we pull out and we drive and it's going fine. And then I realize I'm having trouble accelerating, like it's really chugging, and I'm just in little, neighborhoods essentially. And so we see an AutoZone. We pull over to the AutoZone because I didn't know this. Emily knew this. If you go inside, they have a little machine that'll come out and they can plug it into your car and they tell you what's wrong with your car. And so we had the AutoZone guy come out and he plugged it in and he collected the data and he went inside and he looked it up. And by the way, it's Sunday morning. It's probably 7 a.m. maybe 8 a.m. because AutoZone's open 8:15 a.m. We were trying to get an early start. Had to pick Albert up, from the Borders at the end of the day. And so he plugs it into the computer and he gets the printout and he says, oh, you have a fuel rail sensor that is malfunctioning. There's nothing wrong with your car. It's just this sensor's bad. And I go, oh, is that a hard thing to fix? And he goes, it's actually not a hard thing to fix. I've done it before with a friend of mine. Takes about an hour and a half. It's hard to get to, but it's not hard to replace. And I go, what happens if I just drive with it? And he goes, oh, you can drive. It's not bad. It's just your car won't go very fast. And I was like, okay, cool.
So it just regulates how much fuel your engine's getting or something?
I guess something like that. Yeah. And so I go, well, do you guys have one? And he goes, well, let me see. And he's like, no, we don't have one in stock. Let me see. No, nobody in town has one. You're going to have to go to the dealership to get it. But in Texas, all dealerships are closed on Sunday. So he's like, so that's going to be Monday morning. So if you want to get it fixed here, you're going to have to spend another day in Galveston, essentially. And that is a non-starter for Emily and I. We're not spending another fucking second in Galveston. And so we we talk about it and we go, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to try to, it's not dangerous to drive it other than it's slow. And I was thinking, I don't want to be stuck in Galveston. Even if we could just it's 250 miles. Even if we could just get within 100 miles of home and the car broke down or whatever, I could at least get it towed back to Austin. We'd at least be on the other side. We'd be closer to home, Even if I had to just tow to the closest dealer at that point, it'd be way easier for us to deal with than having to. Because I was thinking I could rent a car, leave the car here, rent a car, drive home, then come back and deal with it, or take a flight home. Or, there's all kinds of options. But we decided, fuck it. We're adventurous. Let's drive. So Emily mapped us home on not using interstates or highways. So just streets.
Because you're too slow?
Because we're too slow. And so we take off and boy, were we slow. I collected some data to give you guys an idea of how slow I was. Let's see. My car maxed out at 49 miles an hour. I assume 50 was one too much. That must have been where the regulator came in. To go from 0 to 49 miles an hour in my wife's car took 1 minute and 17 seconds. So it took us 6 hours to drive home.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Man.
I learned to fear and hate any grade of hill in front of me. Every time we hit a hill, I would look down and the route timer would instantly go up 2 minutes. Like a second I hit the incline, it would add 2 minutes to the trip every time. We would sometimes, because you're going downhill, you can coast. So I could get up to 70 miles an hour on some roads. But so every once in a while you get up to 70 and then you hit a hill. No matter how fast you hit a hill, by the time you get to the top of that hill, you're going 18 to 22 miles an hour. So I had a line of cars behind me. It looked like the longest funeral procession in the history of the planet Earth, from Galveston to Austin on back roads. And if I was going fast, it's 49 miles an hour is fine if you're going. But every time I had to stop at a stop sign or a stoplight, it was an unmitigated misery. I cannot explain to you the pain that I felt in my balls and my throat at the same time. Every time I had to accelerate, and it took me 1 minute and 17 seconds to get to 49. And then There are some areas of Central Texas or East Texas where you'll hit a stop sign every, 30 fucking feet. So you're just going like 2 miles an hour, stop. And it's just, honk, honk, and me just waving people around and having my turn, having my fucking flashers on and begging people to go around, for God's sakes. 6 hours to get home. Got home. Get this. I just happened to look at the clock. It's 3:13, the exact fucking time that Howard Stern woke me up in the morning that night when I prayed for some sort of an insight into my life. Why was it 3:13 when I got home after that nightmare? Is the universe telling me to move to fucking Michigan because that's the area code? Or what is going on? But I'm getting the message loud and clear. Holy shit. Never drive from point A to point B at 49 miles an hour if it's longer than 7 minutes.
What a nightmare.
I had so funny being slow. Instead of fast and furious, you were slow and irate. Like there's nothing exciting happening.
Just like, I can't even tell you what it's like. Emily would be like, do you want to pull over and we'll switch? And I'm like, no, I don't want to stop. I don't want to get out of the car. We're going to drive until we get home. 0 brakes. I raw dogged it. There was no point. We just went from point A to point B as slow as Christmas, but we did it. And oh my God, was it a new kind of stress in my life.
I wonder if there was like a tech menu or something you could have got into that just bypassed the sensor somehow.
I don't know,
man.
Well, what's nice about your setup is you two could have swapped seats without having to stop the car. You could have just got out and walked around it and then just sat back down and rebelted. That's so funny. Oh my God. Wow. Hitting a stop sign constantly. Oh.
Yeah, and then the next day I had to drive Emily's car to the dealership in Austin traffic at 6 p.m., which was a whole other kind of just fucking insane nightmare to experience, but I was able to.
That is hilarious. I would be so anxious, going so slow, cars lining up behind me.
Oh, it was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I love that you just pushed through though.
Yeah, I mean, what are the alternatives, right? Like either way, I didn't want to be tied to Galveston. I don't want to be stuck there any longer than I was, and I certainly didn't want to have to leave and come back, you know? And I just figured if I could get like closer to halfway, then everything flips. If I'm closer to Austin than further, then I could even take an Uber home an hour and a half if I need to, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I wanted to get home to the dog who was for some reason barking in the background. I didn't want to be there anymore.
You could have probably pushed the car faster in some of those stop sign points.
Dude, you are not kidding, man.
Just throw it neutral, just shove.
There was a point in just outside of Galveston early onto the trip because we were basically, we're just taking back roads where I had to start at a hill. It's a bridge. And we must have gone 11 miles an hour over that bridge because we just never had a chance to build up any momentum before we hit the incline. It was like the bridge started right after the stop sign. And I just remember thinking like, this is going to be the next like 100 hours of my life. And then luckily it got a little bit better after we got over that bridge, but man,
I can't stop thinking about the montages in the early Fast and Furious movies when they'd flip the switch and the nitrous would go off and it'd go like through the tubes and fire would shoot out. Just that, and then cutting your car going 40.
Max like CGs through all the menu and the piping and the engines, and it's just like a sensor's like beep. It doesn't work.
That's so funny.
Is it fixed now or what?
It's at the dealer. I think it'll be fixed tomorrow. I think we're picking it up tomorrow. It's just, they were like, it's just a sensor. It's not hard to fix. It's just, but they're like, we got to get under the engine to fix it. So it's going to be a while. And so they'll get to it.
So are you now in the mindset if you want just like an old fashioned car that you could fix yourself?
Or some buggy, maybe?
I've always kind of lived in that mindset. But I'm definitely closer to it now, for sure. Every problem that Emily's had in that car has been sensor related. And she's had a few, and I'm just fucking sick of it. Like they really pissed me off to know that there was zero wrong with the car and it was acting up, Like I was suffering for 6 hours because a $9 widget burned out, But the mechanics of the car are 100% fine. And it did make me think, I know it's impossible, but God, there should be some sort of a manual override,
Yeah.
I wonder if driving for 6 hours with a fuel-starved engine was good for the engine or not.
Oh.
So, interesting.
Good for the
Interesting.
engine.
We averaged 6.5 miles a gallon better than normal. Saved gas doing it. We got home on less than a half a tank of gas. I looked because I had the odometer kept statistics. The average speed from start to finish was 43 miles an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I kept it almost at max speed of 49 the whole time.
Now, imagine if they broke it the other way where it doesn't go below 90. It starts it's just super fast.
Then I'd be Keanu Reeves and I'd get home super quick.
Yeah, you had the opposite of speed.
Yeah. No speed.
No slow. Only speed. Like Sonic, but the car. You just can't. Oh.
Anyway, that's why I couldn't. I had to figure out how to get the
so funny.
care packages around town the other day.
Yeah, it was the thing where I asked Geoff if he wouldn't mind dropping something off for me for something related to the show. And he said he didn't have a car. But I knew you went to Galveston. So it's like, oh, I cannot wait.
I was like, I can't, but I can't tell you why.
Yeah.
Essentially.
That's so funny. Before we should bring it up before we move on from this episode, I gotta figure out what my throat goat rating is. We're doing the GURPLERS come out, and you guys did your own throat goats in the new GURPLERS.
Yeah.
Did you watch the video?
I haven't seen it yet, no, so I don't know the measurements. I felt like going in dark would be best for this.
Okay. Well, do you have a GURPLER in front of you?
I do, yes.
What color is it?
It is the green GURPLER.
Oh, perfect.
That's great. That's
This
what
was
we use.
exactly
That's
what we
fantastic.
It wasn't going to be able to be an official.
Yeah.
Does anyone
Otherwise.
have the ability to take a screenshot from that video of the final lines, and we can put that up after Andrew tells us his?
I think I can. After we get it from Andrew, I think I can do it.
Okay.
Let me.
I have a measuring cup to be very specific as well.
Oh, we weren't very specific.
Yeah, we don't know.
Right, but what we did, let me explain to you what we did. We put as much water in our mouth. It was individual. So like say Gavin would go, he'd put as much water as he could physically hold in his mouth, gullet, throat, etc. As much as he could physically hold.
Mhm.
Then he would spit it into the measuring cup. And then
Okay.
from the measuring cup we would pour it into the GURPLER, and then we would mark a line on the GURPLERs. That's the way
Yep.
that went, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from there, what I need you to do is make a line next to. I'm watching the video now. Next to the letters, like by like the GURPLER, like not
Yeah.
on top of the white
Yeah.
letters, but right next to it. Make a little black mark, and then send us the picture. That's what we're looking at.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna first put the water in the mouth. Got to stretch the cheeks out a little bit.
Are you doing cold water, hot water? What are you doing?
Poured out cold. I'd say room temp. At this
Okay.
level.
Okay.
Probably smart.
Let me little cheek stretch.
Yeah.
I'll make sure we got room. Okay, here we go.
Imagine it's going in now.
Make a lot of sounds.
Lots of
Yeah.
choking noise.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to try and squeeze a bit more in?
Maybe. Yeah.
Oh, I think he's done it.
Yep. Oh my God! You can hear it.
Sorry.
Sounded like you got a lot in.
I I'd fill my mouth, and then I'd just instinctually start drinking it a little bit, and then I'd go, oh,
It's
there's
hard.
more room. There's more room.
I think everyone did that in our main video. Everyone's like, I'm just drinking.
Okay. Pouring it in. Let me first just see how much it is in the cup. Interesting. Okay.
Andrew, do you have any predictions on where you'll rank within the group?
Ooh.
I think I'm going to be at the bottom.
Oh,
I
big
think
back, small mouth.
Yeah. I think I have a small mouth.
Would you say your throat is petite?
Yeah, I think I do have a petite throat.
Hmm.
God.
Okay. Let me make sure this is level. I don't even need to mark. It's so perfect for where mine is.
Okay.
Which also makes me feel like I'm very low.
I hope it's like at the L.
Yeah, guys, I'm only into the middle of the U. My bar directly touches the first R.
Okay.
Could you soy phone it?
Yeah. One sec. Let me take a. Oh, that's.
Now, Eric, if you haven't already taken a screenshot,
I
I
already
can
have it.
just. Oh, okay. No, I was gonna say I have the Gurpler. I can just go grab it.
Oh, Geoff, you fool. I have it. I'm ready to share.
Okay, I'm uploading the photo right now.
Okay. Excited to see it.
Yeah, as am I.
Did you? Okay.
Oh,
Kind of weird that it's at an angle.
took it on a
Might be
downward
the
angle, but that's fine.
worst photo I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
kind of like the most insane way you could have taken that picture. But
How would I have? What would be the better way to do it?
here, let
Take
me
it
show
level
you.
with the
Yeah,
liquid.
please.
Full on, just straight on.
So
I did it.
Andrew is just
Oh, here.
under Gavin and I.
Yeah.
Looks
so
like.
so the G that's all the way to the left is Gavin. The G that's all the way to the right is Geoff.
Yeah, I'm definitely below. I'm not. It's like barely touching. Here, let me.
Yeah.
I'll
So now we've got full Genga.
We're Genga.
We got full
Genga.
Genga.
Our mouths are Genga.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I like that one.
We should make a board game called Genga.
Genga mouth.
Oh.
We could be the next Smash Mouth.
Here we go. Better angle for you guys. I thought I did a good job. Apparently, I didn't. People picky nowadays. It's the photography.
Yeah. Do you
Okay.
see the difference between what you did the first time and what you did the second time?
Phenomenal.
The water
No, not
level is
really.
now, we can see how much further below it is.
That's
Yeah.
essentially the same.
I'm excited for the audience.
You
to
are.
see these.
You're dead, Andrew. I think you're dead last.
Yeah, I'm definitely
Yeah, I think
last.
so. Wow.
Yeah, not even close,
Wow.
buddy.
You got your puzzle under the laptop.
We talked about this before. Move my norm movies. Ventilation isn't as good with the puzzle. It still overheats.
Have you tried it just on the desk?
No.
Why did you give such a big? You don't want it
Yeah.
just on the
What
desk?
happened?
Are you like saving the desk or what?
I was thinking why I haven't done that. That was the thing of like, no, I haven't done that, and why? Because there
Is
has
there
to be a reason.
At the laptop store, like, where's all the platforms and like boxes and puzzles and shit to put this on?
Okay, so I think this is what happened. I'm now remembering the sequence
Okay.
of events that led to this moment. I originally was level on the desk, and then it was really overheating, and I thought maybe some elevation would help it. So then I put the Norm DVDs under it. Then I wanted to take the Norm DVDs back, and I got the puzzle box, and I think I just swapped it because I had something there before. I don't think it
But when
has
you-
to be on this.
When you type on it though, doesn't it just go like bloop, 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 like bouncing all around?
What do you mean?
Because you're balancing it.
Well, no, it's the puzzle box is essentially the same size as the
You
laptop.
could see the like giant overhang.
Oh, well, I don't use the right side of the keyboard that much, I guess. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not typing all the way on the edge. It's more middle.
I'm constantly not using the question mark, so I mean that's just over there. I don't
Yeah,
need
I'm
to
looking
worry
at
about
where
that
the
one.
line is on the puzzle box to the keys, and it is halfway through the enter key on the right. So it's
Okay. I just like the idea of being like, oh, I can't ask any questions because my laptop will fall over.
no. But I'm approving. I plugged in my external drive and I transferred all of the stuff onto it and then deleted on my computer. I'm learning.
Hell yeah, dude.
Learning how to do
Wow.
stuff. Yeah.
I mean, I would say that's a concept that also works outside of computers.
Yeah.
Like what?
Like storing something in like a cupboard or something.
Wait.
Yeah, he's got you there.
Yeah,
No, I don't understand.
Like something that was out and you were using, and then it's like, oh, I don't need that anymore, so I'll put it away.
Yeah. I don't get. What's the implication that I don't?
No, that's what you were doing with files. You're making it sound like you just learnt about copying files onto an external drive.
Yeah, well, I've never done it before.
Okay, so he did just learn about it.
Yeah. I thought that when it happened and I moved it, I didn't realize the copy.
Hey, good job, man. I don't know why Gavin's criticizing you. I'm happy you did it.
I think it's one of those things where I'm trying to be less on the attack. So I thought that he was attacking me in some way, and I didn't understand how.
I think I was a little bit.
Yeah, he definitely was attacking you.
Oh, he was? Okay. I didn't pick it up.
No, I'm just saying that it's like you learned
How
it.
do I transfer my crackers from the pantry? Like, I don't get the comparable. Because it's not like I clone the crackers and then throw away the crackers.
It's honestly the most direct comparison. It would be like if you had a fridge and a freezer and then a deep freezer in your garage. And you would like, some stuff belongs in the freezer, but if the freezer's getting too full, I got to move it to the deep freezer where I rarely go to.
That's
but
fair.
now I think what Andrew's saying is that he doesn't make a 1-to-1 copy of the frozen waffles.
Yeah, that's
move
what
one of them and then bin the other
Because
one.
that's the function of the external drive, is copying to then get rid of the base. I'm not pulling my bread out of the pantry and then cloning it and then throwing the bread away. That's what I was very baffled by when you were making the comparison. And I thought maybe you were like trying to take a dig at me for not putting stuff away, but this is nothing to do with putting stuff away.
Nah.
I generally put stuff away.
What is that on the keyboard? A knife?
Yeah, I had to clear my I had to clear stuff off of it. I had a plate on top of it, and the fork or the knife magnetized to that corner of the laptop, and I thought it was funny.
Wait, what happened? It magnetized to the laptop?
It's magnet. It locked on. It's a magnet.
Like
Oh, that's good. That's what you want, right, Gavin? You want a lot of magnets, like kind of like around your hard drives and your laptops and your screens.
When it's writing data, suddenly you've got like a missing file and the rest of it's in the knife.
Well, the magnet is built in, so clearly it's supposed to be there. I didn't put the magnet in the laptop.
No.
Did you know when you're transferring... If you're transferring files, if you put a magnet the right way next to the one that's pushing the files to the other, you can actually push them faster.
That's how you delete files, right? It corrupts it. I've seen spy films where they like rub a bunch of magnets on the thing.
I don't think so.
That's definitely a thing. You corrupt the computer with the magnet.
I think you just push or pull data faster or slower.
So you got like an iron knife?
Yeah, I guess. Huh. I don't know what it's fucking made of. It's a knife.
I don't know what it's fucking made of.
Gavin, what are your knives made of?
Are you concerned about the material of your cutlery?
I just don't think mine are magnetic. I mean, they could be. I just don't.
Mail me one. I'll try it. Send me a spoon, and I'll see if it attaches. I'd say send me a knife, but I don't need one. I don't have a spoon.
Oh, it's already there.
So, yeah, I'm ready. I don't know why it's magnetized in that part. Is that for like the lid? Something with the lid, maybe? Why would it be magnetized in the bottom right corner?
Is there a hard drive in it, or is it SSD?
What the?
You think I know? You think I got that information for you?
Sometimes when you open a file, does it show you the hourglass and go like, whee?
A bar moves. So I know SSD is solid state drive. So I got that going for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's not
How do I
spinning.
tell? Okay, so I click the home. Sorry, technical difficulties with me again.
Which we still haven't been able to make because you've had to.
Oh, I ordered the wrong electrical cable. So
What does that mean, electrical cable? Like power cable?
I thought this computer had a lightning port, and I bought a lightning port to HDMI converter, but it's a Thunderbolt port, so I had to get a different converter. Which I now have.
Okay.
Oh, good.
So that should be all good.
Still.
So I click this PC, and I have OSC and My Passport D.
You got that? You got that, Gavin?
My passport D is your external drive. It's as well as WB My Passports.
Yeah,
So,
Western Digital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So OSC is your hard drive.
Gavin's been giving me a lot of crap about this. I sent him a computer issue I had today, and he never replied. Didn't help me at all.
Oh God, you did. You sent me that was the first thing I saw this morning. It was some sort of like kernel panic report of some sort.
So you didn't help him for as long as you humanly could today.
I got a panic CPU one caller OX user space watchdog timeout. No successful check-ins.
I love the idea of I want to not help you longer, so I'm gonna wake up early.
The only way to not help him anymore would be to set your alarm.
What is the capacity of your C drive?
I'm gonna go dump this GURPLER out. You figure that out.
This is great. I love this show so much. It's not even like you're like being critical or whatever. You're just asking a couple of questions, and the house of cards starts to crumble.
Oh yeah, I'm not here trying to stump him.
He's got it.
But it sounds like he's going to be needing the question mark key a lot during technical difficulty.
Oh man.
What'd I miss?
I was just saying, I'm not trying to mess with you. I'm trying to learn a little bit about your computer.
I can't believe you asked me what material my knife is made out of. Crazy.
Well, that was
like I'm a knife guy. No, it's titanium steel. What are you? Not pancakes with it, man. I don't know what to tell you.
This is great. It made me look up the Ukrainian jackrabbit again because I felt like Gavin was in Ukrainian jackrabbit mode where he was going after Andrew.
And that's just a taste of what you can expect in our upcoming technical difficulties supplemental starring Andrew Panton and his computers.
Are you serious, Geoff? You can expect that on the 22nd when we launch the GURPLER at noon Central and you guys are playing Mario Party again. The return of Dill Kong. You think Andrew wants to do that? I can't wait. This is exciting.
By the way, speaking of that, are you aware, Eric, that you made us record not a time travel announcement, but a regular present day announcement on the same episode where we made that announcement?
Yes.
It's in the episode.
Yes.
Why'd you do that?
Because we need to announce it more than once.
More than once in the same file?
Yeah, I would. Nah.
Yes.
Wouldn't you want to put it somewhere where they're not already going to hear it in 40 minutes?
There's a reason I've talked about it twice in this episode.
Yeah, you got to take a look at our retention, buddy. You think they're making it 40 minutes in?
You're out of your mind. There are people who Googled, can I change my vote the day after the election? I'm not taking any chances. You got to just say it more than once. That's it.
Huh. Okay.
I steal or some shit. Like I'm fucking going to a knife store and say, hey, do you have copper knives? Fucking crazy. Insane. We're gonna end sync so we can wrap this.
Hey, let me.
Are you done with it?
Yeah, let's
I'm good.
wrap
Let's
this
go
up.
to the next one.
But on the way out, let me ask you guys a question. Do you think this episode 28 was as good as our previous episode 28? Do you think we met our own bar?
I think I got a fever in the middle of this episode.
I don't think you can compare them in that way. I think they're different. It's different us's at different times in our lives.
That's you saying you think the first one's better. Got it. Okay, thank you for listening to another episode of the Regulation Podcast. We're glad you stuck with it all the way through. I assume you did because you're hearing me say this right now. If you're not hearing me say this right now, did I even say it? We'll see you next week.
What are knives made of?
I'm freezing.